G's, 4G's, yeah. 4G's, 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 let's go. 4G's, 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 look. Full syndication, full elevation, all generations, we already made it. 4G's, 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 yeah. 4G's, 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 let's go. 4G's, 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 look. Full syndication, full elevation, all generations, we already made it. We got Shot, Dot, Malcolm, Chris the King, plus the Doc. You know that's like 4G's. Sports Mind. Real world, real problems, real news, real sports. We gon' let you know right here on 4G's. 4G's.
Four G's is back in the building. As always, before we get started, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell. I'm sorry, as Doc always says, hit that bell, all right? So you know every time we come on, all right? So this is episode 26. I just want to say thank you because, you know, we never thought we'd make it this far. We just doing this to be doing it. Y'all want it, so we're going to keep giving it to you. But this episode is sponsored by Cosey Creations by Daphne Cosey. And as you can see, 4G shirts and all the apparel that we will be doing from here on out be done by Cosey Creations. So thank you very much for being a sponsor. So let's get right into this show. As you can see, we're one short. The King had to, some other things he had to take care of. So me and the Doc's going to take care of it. I am the OG.
Hey, you know what it is. You got the Doc.
Yes, sir. And our guest today. Now, when we first started, I've always wanted to speak to someone in the front office of a team. Today, we have GM D Woods. I'm going to let him describe and introduce himself, and then we're going to get right into it. So, D, let them know about yourself. I'm sorry. Woo.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing? First of all, thank you, 4G. I guess appreciate you guys letting me come on the show for sure. My name is Deshawn Woods, as previously stated. I am a general manager of a professional, quite a few teams now. We got a team that's playing in the American Basketball Association, have over 221 teams worldwide. We're this new franchise in the Scottsdale area called the Scottsdale Titans, as well as I'm a commissioner of a brand new league called the Women's Basketball Association. We just added our yesterday morning, we added our 17th on the roster, so we're good with that as well. I'm a general manager of the Scottsdale Sirens as well. So, I'm a former college coach and high school coach and a former college player and high school player. So basketball has been my life. So I appreciate the opportunity to be on.
Yes, sir. So we're about to hit you with all kind of basketball off-the-wall questions that we can come up with. I hope you're ready. All right, Doc, let's get started.
Let's get into it. What are your thoughts, especially as like a just somebody with a GM and commissioner type background? What are your thoughts about this new way of superstars teaming up in the NBA instead of kind of letting it build around them now?
So before I became management, I used to always think about like, oh, this is horrible. It's a horrible decision, stuff like that. But when you think of the finances about these players, they got maybe five, I'd say 3 to 4 years of a time where they maximize their money potential. And what happens is when these guys team up with each other, a lot of finances come with the process and it's less work, which means they can easily get over that 100 million, 200 million threshold within their 7th to 8th year season. So then they could just chill out the rest of the years of their veteranship, basically. So I don't think too much negative about it as much. I just know it does hurt their legacy when it comes to that city. I do know that.
Yeah. And I'm gonna OG, I'm already going off script. Before I even get into my next question, it's already happening. You talk about the money, right? They got to maximize their brand. And I definitely get that for some of these players. But what about somebody like LeBron, who it's not like he's darn near a billionaire, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not like he's in a situation where he has to maximize that money, right? But he kind of started this revolution of the super teams and jumping around to get those championships. Do you feel like for him it's the same kind of impact, or is that kind of on its own tier?
I would say there's probably a 50% ego, and most of it is money. I'm explaining why it's a money situation, okay? It's a money situation for the fact that he has to be on top of the game. If LeBron James and Nike are not on top of the game, there's huge billion-dollar losses financially. So LeBron has to make moves like that to stay on top. It may sound, for me, I was like, why would he leave Cleveland? People just come there. He tried that. It didn't work, right? And then, there's a part of, like, it's an ego thing. It's like, yo, like, I can't lose. Like, I can't just sit here and waste my time. And that's why he ultimately made the decision when he left Cleveland the second time. It literally was like, look, I probably got 5 good years left. I'm trying to get into the movie industry. And if I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose in La La Land. And guess what? I'm not going to lose in La La Land because everybody wants to come to LA. It's beautiful weather, beautiful people. Everybody train all year long. It was a win-win situation because even if they did lose, and then now he got this new situation where he can be a sidekick. And now when he starts to digress, because he will sooner or later, it's not going to look so bad because he got Anthony Davis who's going to sign an extension. He got all these other players who are going to come after that. So LeBron, I would say he's the luckiest player in the history of basketball. I'll just say that.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I've
Ain't
never
gonna
heard
get no argument for me on that. So kind of switching gears to what you do, what are some of the barriers to running these leagues in women's leagues and as a GM and a commissioner?
Well, it's all about you got to find who's hungry, right? You got to find what cities are hungry. And I'll go into this since I started with the ABA first before we started this women's league. It was like, okay, there's 2 other teams in the area, but guess who's leaving? The Suns D League team and G League team is leaving. I'm sorry, I'm old school D League. So I was like,
Yeah.
all right, so we got to figure out how can we market this thing. And then, because this is our first year. So COVID happened in our first year. And we had like, you know what, we'll get some of these players who can't go overseas. Guess what? And they're going, they're going to take less change because they'll still get to play, keep sharpening up their skills and stuff like that. So we're taking advantage of it. And then the fact you got to see where it's not even about ticketing sales, it's about streaming. It's about like getting people to watch from home. Like, man, it's exciting, honestly, man. I don't know if I'm getting off your question there, but I just got excited just thinking about the shit. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you good.
All right. Now, with your position as a GM in a league and a commissioner in another, which one is more challenging?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it will have to be the commissioner, because you were literally, especially in my situation, we're starting from scratch, right?
Okay.
So you're really trying to find other people to believe in your vision overall. And the creator of the league, Malika Murphy, who's our owner as well of the Scottsdale Titans and Sirens. So GM it's honestly, it's exciting because I have coaches. So I don't need to be a coach, but I can be the enforcer. Like, yo, at the end of the day, it all goes through me. But I can assess players and not be emotionally attached. I can literally say, hey, I need this from you. This doesn't come from you. We got to find a different option for you. We all know what that is mentally. So, I would definitely say commissioner would be a little bit harder.
Okay. All right. Now, we're going to put on your GM hat for a second, and I want you to predict, just kind of dig in your brain a little bit. Give us a prediction on the next blockbuster trade or someone switching teams.
So there's only one blockbuster left, and it's one person, and that's Giannis, right? We all know that. So the situation, why it works, Miami or the Warriors. The Warriors have saved money last year by going under. They didn't intentionally go under, but they save a lot of money financially. And with these injury packs, you pay them, but you only have to pay them. It's just like, you get hurt at work and you file for FMLA, and at some point they'll pay you 70% of your pay versus all your pay. So guess what? They got more money now because 3 of their stars were hurt, right? So therefore, they can throw a super max situation at Giannis on the back end. It may not even be on the front end. They can at least get him for 2 years. That extends the dynasty. That pays for the Chase Center, because God knows that's an expensive place, right? Even though they pay for it out of pocket, and like even with that situation, I'm gonna go back to Giannis. But even with that situation, the fact that all that money that the Warriors made and they pocketed it. They didn't put it nowhere, and they put it right back to owning their own arena. It's only 2 teams in the NBA that owns their own arena. And guess who owns the best and the nicest one? The Warriors, who just won 3 championships out of 5 years. So, but Giannis will be the blockbuster trade. And why Miami works, obviously, because they have a great president. I'll say he's everything. And Pat Riley. And Eric Spoelstra is a great coach. And Giannis, he wants to play for a good coach. And I think the Bucks have a good coach, but he's not getting anywhere. Anyone's not going to come to Milwaukee. And honestly, if he doesn't leave now, then he's not going to win a championship. That's just really all to it.
All right. Before Doc gets to that next question, I'm going off script. So if you're a GM of one of these teams, what would be your main sales pitch to kind of get Giannis to kind of look your direction? Either team. Let's go with the Warriors first.
Oh, that's easy. See, that the Warriors is easy. So essentially, a situation, Steph Curry is already going to play sidekick in his own place, right? So Giannis Giannis doesn't even have an egotistic. He works like a Kobe Bryant. Maybe not with the egotistic part, but he works hard. He just wants to play and he wants to win, right? So you have all these players that have no. And Draymond, he might be falling down a little bit, so you still have Klay Thomas and you still have Steph Curry, who defer a lot, as you see what they did with Kevin Durant. So it's an easy situation. They need someone to finish up the glass. So, and then on top of that, once, Curry has about 3 more years, Klay probably have 5 more years, Giannis could finish up in Oakland. And in Santa Cruz, because they moved. But Giannis could finish up out there. So, yeah, I mean, so I go with Miami. In Miami's situation, they could win the East right away.
Okay.
Like that. Okay? Right. So you're already getting past the Eastern Conference Championship, which means you're already in contention, which means you still have Jim Butler for another 3 to 4. I would say 3 years to be realistic. 3 years at his prime. So you have someone that would defer to you, something like that, and you'll be able to finish at that way. And you won't have to leave too far. And you'll be closer to home, so you'll be closer to go back over to Europe and stuff like that. And his lady, they're used to the East Coast. They're used to the weather. They're used to the cost of living. So it'd be exciting for him, but Warriors definitely better make that pitch. Well, they already doing it already. I don't know why they said they maybe need to.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if I'm a superstar, I'm going where he going, because he just sold me on any team right then and there.
Right. Yeah. Well, and we kind of to compound on that, we saw that Steph Curry is not opposed to deferring if needed. He's I guess you would say like a humble superstar, because he is a superstar. He's the real deal. I mean, and for him to defer the way he did to KD, I could see that happening with Giannis, because what we do know is Curry's also about that legacy, and he wants to stack rings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, in Miami, you got Jimmy Butler and that up-and-coming Tyler Hero, who, that kid's up-and-coming. So, yeah, I can see that for sure.
Man.
Yeah, that kid's cold. How, kind of switching gears back to you, D. Woods, how did you get involved with the Sirens and then ultimately the Titans as well? How did that all kind of come to fruition?
So there was a situation where I was, I don't know, people look up me on LinkedIn all the time. So somebody reached out to me and said, hey, here's an opportunity. And I been retired from basketball. I've been traveling. I was kicking it, honestly. And I was like, and then I was like, you know what? I've never been a GM, but I was a head coach at a JUCO, and I did almost everything, marketing, everything for our team. And mind you, not even drove 6-hour games and 2 hours of practice and stuff like that. So I was like, well, let me give it a shot. And I'm a businessman, so I was able to be an analyst on other things. So I was very excited for the opportunity. And when Malika reached out to me, I was like, let's go for it.
All right. Now, we're going to stick with you, but this is kind of a great case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
What would be your dream job in the NBA or the WNBA?
All right, so my dream job in the NBA, honestly, would be. It's so crazy people don't know, but I used to work in the NBA as well, years ago. But actually, for basketball operations, it would definitely have to be in scouting. I honestly, I can scout. If you just shoot a left hand layup incorrectly, I know you're trash. I'll be honest with you, not even be a funny. So I just love the player development, and I like plenty orchestration. That's why I wanted to be a GM because orchestrating the whole thing, it is beautiful. Like people looked at Jerry Krause as a mean person, but the Bulls doesn't happen without him. It
Yeah.
doesn't. Like,
You got a point.
you're going to be hated when you're the boss, right? You're going to be disliked when you're the boss, right? Now, and we all know what happened. There's some egos with Phil and all the other players. With the WNBA, I would want to be in the front office. I definitely would like maybe a junior commissioner position or something like that with the WNBA because I feel like with women's basketball, we're going to take over with the Sirens here. And a year from now, we're going to have some former WNBA players on our team. We're going to have college. We already have our whole Sirens team has all JUCO and 1 4-year player already on the team. So we already college graduates. The whole team's college graduates on the team. They didn't necessarily make it overseas, but they're still here, and we're giving the opportunity. And the buzz is going hard. We're actually rejecting even better, honestly, better players than we have. We're rejecting them because we're loyal to the players that we have this year. But who knows? Next year, might have to make a different decision.
You know, before we move on, Jack, I want to circle back to something that we were talking about earlier. And you was talking about the Warriors and Draymond Green. I love players with passion. But at what point, as a GM, would you have to really set Draymond down, or a player that plays with that much passion, to kind of like, hey, we like your passion, but you got to control it because you're going over the line a little too much. How does that kind of conversation go?
It doesn't if you're productive. It does now. 3 years ago, I say nothing to Draymond. I say nothing to Draymond because he's all over the court. He's going after everything. He's basically killing himself for the organization and program, and he wants to be a team player. This past Draymond, no, you need to sit down. You need to get it together because your bark is bigger than what your bite is, and it's definitely at this point where you need to start being a veteran and start leading these guys and to basically find the mode and be where you used to be at, and you gracefully find and make your business decision away from the game so you can finally move on. So it depends, right? You know, Bulls never left Dennis Rodman. I mean, they let Dennis Rodman do God knows whatever. Actually, Dennis Rodman's still playing the ABA right now. If you check out Orange County Nova Stars, you'll catch Dennis Rodman playing for the ABA team. Oh, Nova Stars. Shout out to Al. But go ahead, though. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, the Draymond situation has always been interesting to me because sometimes I know we get into these, we're old heads and we think about things generationally sometimes, but to me, he specifically seems to be a prime example of somebody that really can't take any constructive criticism, right? You can't say anything negative because he gets inside his feelings about it. And then, like he made a comment to Charles Barkley once that like kind of really in a wrong way because he thought he could be like Shaq and tell Barkley, no rings, you can't sit at this table. But let's be real about something. Barkley would have ate his lunch back in those days, like to me, because Barkley was somebody that was looked upon to carry a team, where you have Draymond that kind of personally just kind of lucked into a situation, right? I mean, Draymond's, though he's an energy guy and things like that, he's not carrying a team. So to say something like that to somebody that's considered one of the greatest of all time was a little bit disrespectful, I felt. But, that's the world we live in now, so we kind of push through that. OG, though, I do have a question before you go into off-topic.
Okay.
As a GM specifically, in these leagues, can you do all the GM stuff? Like, are you guys making trades and stuff like that? Or is it a little different than what we see on the, fully NBA, NFL, NHL levels?
So we could do a short trade, which means literally we could do man to man, well that's fine. But it would have to be in the off season, can't be during the in season though. But we can do trade. Some teams don't. They just have a single season where it's just they reload every year, something like
Okay.
that. But so I say partially, with the league being so huge, which I didn't even realize I got into it. Like, man, it's crazy.
All right,
Yeah,
now
that's kind of trip.
before we, I know, like I told you, we'll probably be talking on and off all day, going through questions. Before we get to our off topic, with the Titans, how does that structure go as far as
Oh yeah.
getting started and doing what you guys do? Was that more difficult, I guess, than what you're doing with the Sirens, or were the Titans there first?
So the Titans were first because the ABA is already previously established and it's a lot easier because we have like 3 former ABA players and some guys played, college basketball. We got a couple guys who played overseas as well. When you already have that structure already, it was really easy for the Titans because literally, like I said, like we grabbed this team, we're part of this association, so obviously there are other teams in that association, so it's a little bit easier with the Titans. It's a little hard because we're starting from scratch.
Okay. And then one more, and then I'm not gonna ask no more crazy questions. Do you guys have drafts, or do you kind of like have tryouts, or how do you put your squads together?
So we do it just like the NBA G League, where it's just straight out tryout. Um, and the thing is, we don't have any upper teams to go above us, so it's just open tryout pretty much. They pay a certain fee just for the tryout, and then we make the deliberations, the decisions. We have scouts and stuff like that. It will actually make determination of who will be the best fit. And obviously, me oversee all of it to make sure it's really a good opinion, which I think I did. I did pretty good actually.
Yeah.
So,
So how do you promote those tryouts? If somebody wanted to try out, where would they go find it?
Word of mouth, social media. You will list. If you just type in Scottsdale Titans on Google exertion, you'll see us. Word of mouth is definitely big. Our second tryout day, even during COVID, it was kind of so we did it outside. We had 97 guys come try out to be part of the program, and we selected 10 from that day, and we selected 5 from prior, and we selected 2 more after that recently. After we just added them, which is going to be some really good assets actually.
Okay, so you carry 17 on the roster.
We're going 18. So actually, we do have an up. So anyone in the Scottsdale Phoenix area, look us up. We're actually going to go up 18. So we actually have a tryout. Actually on November 17th, Sequoia Charter out in Mesa. So check us out.
All right. I know I just got one more and I'm done. I promise. This is it.
Why? Keep going.
Would there ever be a time where like the G League and the Titans or that league or so, the WNBA and the ABA, will there be a time where y'all could like kind of scrimmage against each other, or you see what I mean, to just see where your talents go, or that's kind of not where that could happen?
So what you call is a loose contract, which means there'll be no profit on each side. So you can't scrimmage a G League team under their rules because they're still affiliated with the NBA. But what you can do is have a loose workout where it's not governed by neither team. They're just out there going with each other, so it won't be official. But you can work out with them. I'm working on something personally with the Suns to see if we can open up this upcoming season, just like a little 40-minute game in front of their little private boosters or whatever. Just to get the buzz and get our guys the opportunity to be in the NBA arena. So I'm working on that myself.
Okay. All right. Oh. Anything else, Doc?
So many things.
I know. We can just do this all day because I got 50 million questions.
I know.
Just go.
More than a question though, more than like a question from me. Like for you, what would you want people out there to know about Sirens and about the Titans as you're looking to grow that brand?
Oh, I mean, the first and foremost, the mom and pop company, right? It was two entrepreneurs, the Murphys, who decided to opportunity to bring, a different situation, a different flavor. They scouted other teams and other ABA teams. No one works like us. We actually have everybody doing things separately. Like we have our social media department. I'm no part of. We have a broadcasting department. I'm not part of. I get to focus on running the whole team, and not only right, we got people doing different things, right? I don't. It's not all on one person. It's ran like a real organization. Now me being director of all of it right now, while everyone's doing other things, like I get to see, we even have a situation where our players are. I mean, we sold 112 jerseys, and we haven't even played a game yet. Right? You know what I'm
Oh, that's
saying?
dope.
Ain't
Yeah.
neither
Yeah.
have you played a game yet, and we sold 112 jerseys. That's crazy. But we did it, and we're gonna do more. So you just gotta find other ways. And when you find entrepreneurs that know how to get through this, because we're not going to get the crowd, so we're not going to get the ticket sales. So we got to do it a different way. So that is the biggest thing, is bringing in revenue for all of us, not just the players, but the owners and people that work on the staff, and everyone. And everybody wants to work with us because we make sure everybody eats. So I'm excited about that.
So you have color commentators and play-by-play guys, right? Or gals, politically correct. If so, where do I put in that application? Don't play with me. I was straight up Al McCoy Jr.
When we get so we do have a guy who's doing color commentation, but we definitely I'll get you information and we can work something out, because you probably can't do, because he's working with other teams as well, so maybe games he won't be able to handle, we'll be able to do whatever. But I'm excited though. I'm excited.
Word up, yeah.
All right, just so you know, you get that job, you still got to do this.
Hey, check it out. That's 4G for life. That doesn't
All
end.
right, I'm just letting everybody know, just because you go move up, you're not moving out.
It's all love. We get a
Never.
4G sign. Tell them
That's
to like
it.
and
That's
subscribe.
it. I wear it. I wear
Hey,
a whole
all
damn.
right now,
I
though.
wear a whole damn thing coming off my back. 4G.
All right, here we go, D Wood. Here we go.
Mm.
This is the question that determines if you come back or not. It's an off topic.
No pressure.
Simply put, Kobe versus LeBron.
Hold on, are they playing 1-1 or actually talking about who I like better?
Who you like better as a basketball?
Yeah.
Okay, so I love Kobe's work ethic. I was a fan of Kobe. God rest his soul. The thing about Kobe is, like, he was only 6'6", but he played like he was 17. Right? It is a lot of people who got that work ethic. And there's nothing about LeBron that will inspire you the way Kobe did. You could be sitting at your office, IT work, and feeling like Kobe at your IT job, right? You see what I'm saying? You could be shoveling poop, and you want to shovel poop the correct way, and you want to throw it in the trash can, and you'll yell, Kobe. Iconic right there, right? If you love that person and how hard he works, everyone's coming out and tell their stories, and I'm sure his stories are going to be about LeBron as well. But the fact that people can sit there and say, "Hey, there was a time where I opened up the gym, and I told Kobe. Kobe told me meet him in the gym at 5 a.m. and I got there, he already been there 4 hours, and he still whooped my ass." Like, that. It's just the thing about Michael Jordan and Conor Mike was not in it, is they inspire people that had nothing to do with basketball. You inspire people, like, even going at this, like, I just can't. I mean, maybe I could be blinded, but I just can't see that. For LeBron, so LeBron, like, I just can't see that rumbling off nobody's thing. But LeBron James, I'm going to speak off the court. Off the court, you can't touch him. You can't touch him. He took that blueprint from Jordan and that likeness from Kobe, and he put it all in once to say, "Hey, I'm gonna take my money and put it somewhere else and make it somewhere else, right? Everybody around me is going to eat, right? I'm gonna take this guy with no formal education, and I'm not just talking about college education, but no formal education to actually being an agent, and I'm gonna make him the highly sought after agent in the history of the NBA, right? I'm gonna make all these people, the establishments, upset with me, and I'm gonna make sure that everybody around me eat. And guess what? Now they got like all kind of parties just for Rich Paul, right? You know, a lot of people do a lot of stuff. Michael Jordan does a lot of things you may not know about charitable. A lot of people. Me personally, if I think someone only has $50 and they gave you $40 of their 50, I think that's a lot bigger than someone who had millions of dollars that gave you thousands. I'm sorry, like I'm just gonna be more impressed with someone that give you their last. That's just the way it is. But LeBron's body on the court, like I said, he's the luckiest place in the history of basketball.
You know, I'm starting to see that a lot of people are separating this question.
Yeah,
and no disrespect, you did it. You answered it great.
That was a great answer. Yeah,
Kobe on the court, and then they talk about LeBron as LeBron off the court. So I'm kind of. I see.
You want me? I'll get real. You want me to get real with you? I'll get real with you. LeBron on the court, horrible teammate. Like literally, what happens is he literally sucks up a franchise to death and then disperse away. Now this may be GMing me. Do you know how set behind the Cavaliers are? The Cavaliers are set behind financially for the next 12 years. They can't get any good players or draft picks or any trades financially. They overstack by paying, what's the big goofy dude's name? Play for the Tristan Thompson, overpaying him. JR still getting a check. He ain't playing for them. All right.
Kevin Love.
Tyrone Lewis still getting paid for them.
Yep.
Black is still David Black. I don't know if he in America still. He's still getting paid for them. Right? Yep. He literally doubles up franchises to disperse and go away and be like, oh, I did what I can do. Like, no, there's so many players that have issues. The only people that really benefit from LeBron is maybe Jay Richardson Jefferson. I know he's from Arizona. Oh, yeah. And who else? Shit, the way Wade did benefit from him, like on a long term wise. So it's not the same. Like I just don't think that the letter of the whole as a player on the court is going to be the same. Like he literally is the type of person, and it sounds like I'm being a hater. I'm not. It's just literally he's the type of person who he wants to be the leader. He wants to be control. He wants to be everything you want him to. He wants to be himself. But then when something goes hit the fan, oh man, that wasn't me. That was them. Ask them why we didn't perform well today. I did my part. Right. Let me put my 30 and 30 stats every week. Oh, we could lose. We could lose the NBA Finals. I don't care. Let me get my 30 and 30 every night, so it can make it look like, well, look, I stacked the sheet. So there you go. You want him looking for LeBron? There you go. There you go.
That's hey, that is real as hell.
I can't say nothing because it's not. I mean, and if you listen to what he's saying, he's coming from a GM mind, so it makes sense what he's saying. Yeah.
Well, that's some of the inner workings we wouldn't even get. Like, I mean, I think we feel like, yeah, man, he seemed to tear up that franchise, but to lay it out like that, like there's so many ramifications for all of the LeBron pleasing that had to happen, that now he's like, all right, I'm out, and now the franchise is doomed, you know. And then I think I've always felt like he likes to hear himself talk a little bit, you know. That's just my thing. I just, you know, and one thing that really did it for me is you never really heard. Everybody else just called Mike the GOAT, right? That he just kind of got that distinction or classification. And when he said that when they beat Golden State coming back 3-1, that made him the GOAT, I'm like, yeah, Mike never had to say something like that. You know what I mean? It just was. It just was. You know what I mean? So that was an interesting way to answer that question. I've always felt, I'm a Suns fan, so it's hard for me to give any Lakers any kind of props. But I say that to mean that me buying this
means a lot.
It shows that's that dude, and
I gotta say something real quick, and you might be mad at me for saying this, but and maybe I live in Arizona now too, and I respect it, but why Suns fans think they matter? Like,
dude.
Why do Suns fans? I mean, like I hate the Lakers. Why you hate the Lakers?
Okay, I'll tell you why. I've always had an issue with the LA fans that I've encountered because it's very
to the point.
We talk about luck, right? LA is just somewhere everybody wants to go. So your organization doesn't have to be ran really well, right? It doesn't have to. It really doesn't. LeBron was going to LA no matter who the owner, GM, coach, any of that shit, because it's LA.
Gotcha.
You get Anthony Davis because it's LA.
Gotcha.
They were in a similar tailspin that Phoenix has been in since Nash left. LA, there was some rough years, especially after Kobe retired.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't really have to do anything. I mean, in Phoenix, we have to make sure we have a good GM. Sarver is destroying this team because Colangelo, Phoenix Suns under Colangelo actually had the 4th best all-time winning record in the NBA. Now that's not, championships. Obviously, we've got shat on many a times, in that category. But what for us in Phoenix, it's like, what else can we do? People ain't just gonna come here, and that's why, as a Suns fan, I even have the reservations about, man, are we even gonna get to keep Book? We're in a whole new era where if it doesn't happen now, he's gonna be gone, right? So it gets frustrating because we know that's not happening in LA because it's LA, not because it's necessarily the Lakers. But Kobe was going through hell over there. He ain't gonna leave. It's LA. You know what I mean?
Right.
He ain't going nowhere. He's gonna wait till it gets rebuilt. So it's hard because I'm born and raised in Phoenix. So I don't none of my favorite teams are outside of Arizona. So I mean,
respect.
I'm very I'm loyal, to the core about it. And then I know, hey, we ain't got the chips. You know what I mean? I mean, all the banners hanging in the Suns arena come from either the arena football team or the Mercury. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. It's unfortunate, but it gets hard to watch a team that isn't necessarily run great still luck into a LeBron James, an Anthony Davis, more rings for not doing anything really other than being in LA. I guess that's the best way I can answer that.
That's how they go. I love James Jones a lot, and I'm excited for James and a lot. And it might take Booker leaving and getting some pieces to help out overall, but it'll be better because the monopolies of people moving to Phoenix, the fastest growing, area in the country right now. But I think they were wrong for denying Jerry Caruso that USA training camp out here. I think they're going to pay for that overall because you'll get a lot of players that come out, especially they don't want to go to Denver. They necessarily don't want to go to Vegas.
Yeah. They don't want to go to Utah.
Out. Yeah, so they'll want to come here and be like, oh, this is a nice looking place. I might actually come take a trade. So Jerry tried with the Arizona area. So we'll see. But
He did. And unfortunately, Sarver tore a lot of that up for the Suns in terms of reputation. Because I will say this, actually, Phoenix had a great reputation at one point. the Suns were always at least in the conversation for some of these high-end free agents. Now we can't even get a callback. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to deal with Sarver. James Jones, though, is changing that a little bit because Ryan McDonough was a little bit of a problem too. You know, we found that he was part of the problem with the locker room in general. The way he associated with the players, the way he communicated, all of that. And we know James Jones, you know, he's been a winning player with winning organizations and seeing how they run. So I'm excited to see what happens there. I hope he built something with Booker, but you're right. I mean, who knows what happens with that. I will say that I found out recently, you know, with all Arizona getting all the transplants, right? Especially when we talk about California. There is where I live is in like the northern part, and they're building a whole Paramount Studios up here. So they're trying to become a mini LA with Hollywood type stuff and everything out here. So I'm interested to see what happens with that in like the next 10 years. But who
it's happening.
Even knows? I got a question because it's a fair question because we really don't even have a seat at the table to be mad at the Lakers. You know what I mean? I'll acknowledge that. I know you all got 17 banners hanging up there. We got some people in the Ring of Honor. You know what I'm saying? And I said this before. I had OG tripping because I said this before. We have somebody in the Ring of Honor simply because he got us to a finals. Charles Barkley was only here 3 years. That doesn't get you in a Ring of Honor normally. You know what I mean? He was barely here long enough to have a mortgage. You know what I'm saying? But you make the Ring of Honor because you got us there. And hopefully one day in my lifetime, I swear to God, if they ever win a damn championship, I might pass out.
Hey, Cleveland said the same thing.
You know what we say? You know what we say in LA? Clippers are like the stepchildren that nobody wants. That's what you guys are becoming almost.
I know. And it was never like that before under Colangelo.
No, and I get it because y'all used to give us fits. Yeah. The Madhouse on McDowell was but I don't know. Popping. I don't know if it's not winning, if it's the front office like you were saying, or if it's the location, because it can't be the weather. The weather's beautiful. I'm from Arizona, so I understand the weather is beautiful. But
the location is nice too.
I just think
I'm telling you.
The location is great. I'm just thinking it's either not putting out a quality product is one, or two, it has to do with your front office. So if you change the front office, then we just have to wait and see. But the Devin Booker situation, I don't think he's sticking around too much longer.
Well, I mean, he's got 3 years left on that contract, so
you got to get everything you can for that man as soon as possible.
That's what I'm saying. Can't be like Cleveland in 2010. You got to get at least 3 workhorses for one, even if you train this some Chevys for a Bentley. But oh well, at least you'll get more bodies and more points on the court because, you know. But you know what? Let's just be optimistic. I had a good bubble run, so it's always good. It's always good.
That should be helpful. That should be helpful going forward. Mm-hmm. All right, you good, OG? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. You good?
All right. Well, I tell you what. From 4G, you know, Commissioner and GM Deshawn Woods, we want to thank you for joining us. It was a great show. Appreciate having you on here. I think we had some fun with that.
Oh, yeah.
And based off of that answer earlier, we'll go ahead and air the show and have you on again some other time.
I do believe he can come back.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. I would love to come back for sure.
For sure.
Also, we have a thing called the Coaches Roundtable, which I think we add a GM and a commissioner to our coaching roundtable. I'm just gonna sit back and watch because I don't even want to say anything during that show. So D Wood, we definitely may need you to come back for that, if possible.
Yeah, I will for sure. No question about it. I'll be there.
I had to get that out, but go ahead and continue. I'm sorry.
That's great. Hey, and as usual, all of our subscribers, all of our followers, all of our listeners, we appreciate you. Our hearts go out to you. We love you all, man. Just keep sharing. You know, have your friends share, have their friends share. Tell them to go ahead and subscribe. And you know what I say? Hit that bell. That way you know when we're going prime time and live. This episode of 4G Sports Podcast was brought to you by my Cosey Creations by Daphne Cosey. And, you know, for my sign off, I just want to shout out to America in general. You know, it's a new day. No matter which way it went, it's a new day. Let's move forward and unite as a country again. The country I serve, the country I love. Let's move forward and the dawn of a new day. And now let's work to rebuild.
Yes, sir. D Woods, before we get out of here, do you have any shout outs that you want to do before we get out of here?
Most definitely. I'll try to be, first of all, shout out to the 4G podcast. Look them up, subscribe, whatever, get to the website, you know, Twitter, all the handles. You already know. I know you guys everywhere, right? All right, so take this out. We do, but we, like I said, I did say one, but we're really filling 3 spots. So we 3 spots for our ABA team association here in the Scottsdale area in the Phoenix realm. It had Sequoia Charter, which out is in Mesa. I think it's 1460 Horne Drive. Come out, pay your tryout fee. Join us. It's the second best show in the town. We gonna be first. I don't care what the Phoenix got to say. But anyway, yeah, well, at least we're right with that. But also on the one lookout for the ladies. Look out WBA, Women's Basketball Association, Scottsdalesirens, our flagship team right now. They're on tour, kicking up they're on tour right now, kicking up all the colleges in the area's butt right now. Let them know they're still going. So we're giving an opportunity for the ladies to keep going. So look this up on all your platforms, you know, say Scottsdale Titans and Sirens. I really appreciate you guys for sure.
No, we appreciate you. And as always, before I even get out of here, everything, I know you probably said, I didn't catch all that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It'll be all in the show description after the show. So try out the websites. Where would they be able to get these jerseys at if they want to buy jerseys?
Oh, great question.
Oh, man, please. Man, I think I got one in the car. Hold on. What?
Oh, yeah, let's see it.
All right, so this is the WBA. See, we got a custom, custom made. This is the child jersey right here. This is Scottsdale Sirens. So this is for our Sirens. Let me see if I can find. Oh, shit. I don't know why. Oh, these are my friend's jersey that bought them themselves. So this is our Titans jersey. This is a men's Titans jersey right here. Right? And this is non-custom, but if you want, you get your name on the back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so when I designed these myself, not to sound weird. So these remind you of the Pacers back in the day with Reggie Miller and stuff. So
the pinstripes.
Yeah, so when I was watching them, Michael Jordan's story, I was like, yo, we need these. So these are the Titans, and this is like I said, this is the fan jerseys for the Sirens. All right.
Okay.
You can get all right, and so you go to info@ScottsdaleSirens.com or info@ScottsdaleTitans.com. It'll come directly to me, and they're gonna say right now they're going for custom. It's very cheap. That's how but it's good labor. So look, it's not no stuff. This is all hand stitched. So we got high quality, $65. I'll get you a custom. I'm gonna send y'all something free. I'll appreciate you guys. So let me know your size.
I
gotta show the love. I'm still
gonna buy one.
Yeah, and I'm still gonna purchase.
I gotta purchase me one, but thank you for the gift. But I'm still gonna purchase one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Look us up. If you can't, just go to our Instagram handles. It'll come to me. I know you reached out to me, and we got a high turnaround. We get it within 2 weeks, so you're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, we just signed.
All of that information will be in the description, so don't worry about if you didn't catch it once again. Oh, excuse me. But just know, I'm getting 2. I want a white and black. I don't care if it's the men. You know what? I want one of each. That's how we go.
And we got a gold one that's coming out. I got pictures out if y'all need it, but we got a gold one coming out too. So we.
I'm gonna have to get that.
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. The gold one is hard. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that.
They're gonna make me want to put in an application for a job too. I'm gonna stop it.
Bless it, man. Pull up.
But before we get out of here, I want to give my shout outs to, first of all, I know Veterans Day is coming up real soon. Doc, And to all our veterans, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I can say is thank you. And we appreciate you from the bottom of our heart. All right? Family and friends, and of course, everyone that did their civil and American duty that got out and voted, regardless of which way you voted. Thank you.
Man, it's beautiful.
Right?
Their numbers.
It set records, man. Set records.
Yeah. So if we continue to do that, we'll be all right. Okay? But, you know, you want to do comments, hit us up, 4G Sports. We're on all major platforms. We're on Facebook, YouTube, IG. Like my father says, tweet, and sound.
Tweet.
I'm telling you, I'm going to get beat when he sees this. If you have any comments for the show, you want anything you want to say, you can write into us at 4G Sports, Sports with the Z, at Gmail. We're also on Fanbook. And also, Doc, if you don't mind, show them the shirt, please.
Yes, sir.
That is the all-new 4G shirts. So we have those. We still have the old ones. We might come up with some Skellies, some first shirt. We might even get a 4G. We might get a 4G Titans jersey. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, but wait. Y'all talking about the mask though? So I ain't even show you the mask.
Oh yes, sir.
I'm gonna send this to y'all. I got mad of them. I got the mask. So you got your little situation. Oh no, you know I can leave it. Got the Titans going on too. Right?
Yes.
Are they gonna rock that? I'll rock that with my jersey.
Yes, sir. I'll be in Georgia repping all that. So I need all of that. All of that. But T. Woods, thank you, sir. Yes, you opened my eyes to a lot of different situations in basketball and how stuff moves. And we will definitely bring you back because you know we're going to have more questions. And the coach's corner, I need you there for that. I need you there for that.
I got you.
All right. And we'll check in. You know, when does the season start?
All right. So we got one. So December 18th, we start out with the Nevada team. They come here. We play at the Victoria on December 18th against Nevada Royals. And then we take a 2-week gap, and then we start playing home games again. You guys can look us up online too, you know, Scottsdale.com, Scottsdaletitans.com, and you'll be able to get the rest of the schedule. I won't just run it all down. But yeah, we definitely looking for a decent situation, mask up, you know, and still enjoy the sports. And I mean, I feel like we're doing really good with the COVID situation. We do test. Oh, I got to say this though, because it's public. We do test our players every 2 weeks, right? We make sure they get COVID testing sessions like that and make sure they're okay. You know, we are a professional team, but we do make sure that we haven't had any tests so far. I've probably had 9 tests so far myself. So because I'm flying, I'm doing all this stuff, I'm doing a lot of stuff. So definitely want to let you guys know that we are being protective during this situation. But hopefully we don't have to worry about it too much longer.
All right. Well, if it's not too much trouble, we'll try to catch you during the season and get an update on the teams. All right.
Appreciate it, definitely, without question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, like always, 4Gs, we out. Thank you for watching.
Appreciate that.